inside midcourt. The Huskies are controlling the ball here in the second half. This is Carl Haas passing over to Chuck Alexinis. Left side, Norman Bailey down low to Mike McKay, who's quickly guarded by Eric Smith. Now a cross-court pass goes out to Carl Hobbs, and he'll start up the offense. Hobbs on the right side, bounce past the middle to Alexinis, turn around, jump, and he connects. And the Huskies up that lead from 2 to 4, and the score is 26-22 for Chuck. He has 6 points. Coming back the other way, Freddie Brown, right corner to Eric Sleepy Floyd, back in the corner to Hancock. Pass goes out and around, out on top to Eric Smith, a whistle, and there's going to be a foul called on Carl Hobbs, much to his dismay and to the dismay of the 15,425 on hand.
And I'm sure Perno doesn't feel too good about that foul either. It was kind of a needless foul. Smith really had good possession of the ball, and Hobbs didn't have a chance to get it away.
Second foul on Hobbs, first on the team here in the second half, and Georgetown controls. Freddie Brown on the left baseline gets it on top to Eric Smith, had a notion shoot, pass to Floyd, long jumper, it's short, rebound knocked around, controlled by Brown, he puts it up and in, and it's now 26-24. The Huskies had a chance to get a rebound, could not do so. The offensive rebound for Georgetown led to the 2 points, and with 19 minutes to go, the Hoyas are within 2. Huskies controlling the ball. Carl Hobbs still in it in the backcourt. Finally gets it across the line with a pass to Mike McKay. McKay going one-on-one with Eric Smith. He goes in front of Ewing. Ewing blocks his shot. And the rebound comes in the hands of Eric Smith. The Hoyas are out and running. 5-on-4 break. This is Floyd in the corner to Ewing. Ewing 20 feet from the basket. Bounce pass in the middle to Eric Smith. Back out to Floyd. Jumper. No, he passes down low. It's controlled by Brown. Brown to Hancock. Hancock shot is short. Rebound tapped up and in by Ewing. And the game is now tied at 26 apiece. And it's 14 points. Make that 12 points for Patrick Ewing. 26-26, 18-22 to go. The Huskies had most of the momentum in the first half, but the momentum is starting to sway the Hoya way. Connecticut's ball, and the game is tied. Corey Thompson passes over to Carl Hobbs. Hobbs looking down low, gets it out top to Bailey. He drives down the lane. He's at the baseline. He's now pushed by Smith. No call. Ball knocked out of his hands. He picks it up and fires a pass over to Mike McKay. McKay bounces out to Hobbs right around the midcourt line, and Hobbs now trying to start some offense and settle the team down as he starts calling out a play. Hobbs gets over to McKay at the foul line. Jumper, it's off the back of the rim, no good. Rebound knocked out of bounds, and it's going to go against the Hoyas and for the Huskies.
Good call there. The ball knocked off Ewing's hands, and 2 players, Freddie Brown and Eric Smith, had a chance to save that ball, but they thought it was off UConn, and they did not go for it. Well, the Huskies get a break and still have a chance to break this tie.
You're in tune to WHUS Stores Connecticut. Hobbs looking to get it in, gets it into Mike McKay. McKay in the corner, and he's trapped by 2 Hoyas. Fires a pass out to Thompson before the 5-second call can be made, and Thompson hands it over to Carl Hobbs, the point guard, and Connecticut will start things up. Hobbs being guarded very tightly by Floyd, pass on the right side to Norman Bailey, and Floyd has really kept Hobbs in check compared to the first time these two teams met, as Hobbs had a field day throwing assists and starting up the offense, but Floyd playing some really tight, hard-nosed defense, and when Gene Smith is on there, he doesn't even let Hobbs get the ball. Here's Thompson, taking the ball out of bounds, getting over to Floyd, to Hobbs, stolen by Floyd. He's going to lay it up and slams it. Floyd slams the ball, and Georgetown takes its first lead of the game as the ball is stolen from Hobbs. No foul called, and it's now Georgetown 28, Connecticut 26, 17-15 to go. Thompson dribbles it across the timeline. 3-on-1 break. He loses control of the ball, and Hancock comes up with it. Georgetown on the run. This is Freddie Brown. Left side to Eric Smith. Pulls up from 20. Off the rim. Rebound battle for it. Down low to Freddie Brown, and he hits the basket. Freddie Brown scores. Huskies want to call and talk things over, and Georgetown leads by 4. So it's 16 minutes and 57 seconds remaining here in the game. It's Georgetown 30, Connecticut 26. We'll be back after this timeout. Georgetown 30, Connecticut 26. Huskies have control of the ball, but they are having some problems as they had a 2-point lead going into halftime, but they've been outscored by 6 here in the second half. Looking to inbound the ball will be Cornelius Thompson. Georgetown playing man-to-man, full court pressure, with Patrick Ewing sagging towards the forecourt. 16:57 to go. Connecticut had a comfortable 9-point lead in the first half, but everything's gone sour since a Georgetown timeout. 3 timeouts left for Connecticut. On the board it says 5 for Georgetown, but I recall them taking 1, so we don't know exactly or officially how many are left. I would say 4.
Oh, this could be the biggest possession of the game for Connecticut. They need some points. They're down by 4. And Georgetown has totally taken everything away from Connecticut. They got to get some of this momentum back.
Corny Thompson along the baseline of the Georgetown basket. Looking to inbound the ball. He has it now. Little movement, or now here's some movement, and Carl Hobbs will get it. He's breaking towards the forecourt. Hobbs across the line. Had a 3-on-1 against Pat Ewing, but wisely decided to slow things up, and now Hobbs being guarded by Sleepy Floyd. Hobbs on the right side, dribbling the ball around, gets out to Mike McKay, 28 feet from the basket, left side to Norman Bailey. Bailey being guarded by a Georgetown player. Now pass goes into Alex Innes, out and around to Mike McKay. And McKay back to Bailey at the 3-point mark. Left side over to Carl Hobbs. Hobbs looking at the basket, no one's open. Passes it back out to McKay, back over to Hobbs. Huskies slowing things up. It's now Alex Innes with the top of the key, over to Bailey, now to Hobbs to the left side. Hobbs starts the drive, brings it out to Bailey, who passes over to Mike McKay, and Huskies still passing around the perimeter, trying to see what they can do down low. Now a pass comes from McKay to Thompson, over to Alex Innes to foul line, long jumper, it's short, rebound Ewing. Big play for the Huskies, they couldn't put it through, and here comes Georgetown on the run. This is Pat Ewing with the ball on the ground, knocks it over to Mike Hancock, over to Eric Smith. And Smith throws it over out to Freddie Brown. They had a break, but they couldn't do anything with it. And now they're going to be around half court waiting to set things up on the offense. A lot of the Georgetown players on the bench standing up, yelling encouragement to the team. Huskies playing a 2-3.
They're going to pull them out.
They're going to try to pull them out to play man-to-man, and the referees are going to give some sort of warning pretty soon. The Huskies are going to match up man for man. Thompson's going to go against Eric Smith, and the quickness is going to go for Smith. Now Hancock looking to match up with somebody here. Smith with it again. 15:35 to go. A wise move on the part of head coach John Thompson. Smith with the ball on the left side. Passes over to Freddie Brown. Guarding Brown is Norman Bailey. Brown now lobs to the right side back to Smith. Smith along the far sideline. Hands it over to Sleepy Floyd. Back to Smith. Down low over to Hancock. Hancock back to Smith. Long jumper from 15. Bang! 32-26. Georgetown has the 6-point lead. Eric Smith with 4 points. Huskies having some problems bringing it across half court. Long pass from Thompson. Over to Hobbs. Hobbs in the forecourt now. They're going to slow things up. They're having problems offensively. They have only scored 2 points here in the second half.
And Harold, Georgetown's run off the last 10 as the Huskies scored the first 2 of the second half.
Now a whistle on the play and a foul away from the ball is going to go against Michael Hancock. And that's going to be his first foul for the Georgetown team. That's their first foul here in the second half. Huskies might need another fight on the court to start waking them up. After the last time there was a fight, they ran off a few points and came up ahead by 9 at one point. McKay gets it into Bailey. Bailey tries, dishes over to Alex Innes. Jumper from 15, no good. Rebound Thompson down low. A whistle and another foul. And this one's going to go against Freddie Brown.
And Harold, not Corny Thompson, Chuck Alex Innes has been creating a lot of open shots for himself, but he has not been able to drop them, and that's been a key part of the Huskies offense that has been failing them down the stretch, but now they have 2 team fouls on the Huskies and 2 on Georgetown.
Ball comes into Norman Bailey. Bailey fakes, starts driving. This ball is knocked away and controlled by Eric Smith of Georgetown. This is Freddie Brown crossing half court, right side Eric Smith. Smith from 15 down low to Ewing over Alex Innes, no good. Rebound Thompson, and the Huskies are now running. This is Carl Hobbs leading a 5-on-3 break. Hobbs in the middle, jump from the foul line, bang! 32-28, 6 points for Carl Hobbs. And Eric Smith trying to talk things over with the referee. As referee's just counting out 10 seconds now. A whistle, a referee time, talking to Eric Smith about something. Let's see what it's going to be. Eric Smith might have been complaining about being hurt. And we're going to get an injury timeout. As both teams huddle to the sidelines for possibly a 20 or 30 second injury timeout. 14-16 remaining here in the game. Georgetown 32, Connecticut 28. The Huskies only scoring 4 points here in the second half, while Georgetown is reeled off 10. And now we're going to have an official timeout. So we'll break from the action with 14-16 to go in the contest. Georgetown 32, Connecticut 28. We'll be back with more Husky action right after this. 14-16 to go. Connecticut down by 4. They had most of the lead throughout the first half. They are trailing now, and Georgetown has control of the ball. We just had about a 30-second timeout as Eric Smith had some problems. Now the referee saying you're going to have to substitute for Eric Smith since he was the cause of that timeout, and they're going to bring in Anthony Jones. And John Thompson not too happy with the referee's decision, but Anthony Jones in the game, he had 13 points the first 2 times these teams met. He led the Georgetown team in scoring, and he was shooting very pretty from the outside. This is Freddie Brown, right side over to Eric Sleepy Floyd. Huskies matching up man to man. Now Freddie Brown on the left side, looking, lobbing it into Ewing, and Ewing has it. Throws a shot over Bailey, no good. Rebound Hancock. Hancock's being pushed by his own man, and now we're going to have a 3-second violation on Mike Hancock for being in the lane too long.
Still, Connecticut getting killed off the offensive boards. If it's not Ewing inside, it's Hancock getting those boards. Connecticut has to do a better job of boxing out.
Full court, man-to-man pressure. The ball comes into Norman Bailey. Bailey almost trapped, bounces it out to Corny Thompson. Thompson looking deep. Instead goes to Bailey, and Bailey dribbles it across the timeline. Pass the right side, Alex Innes. He pulls up from 10 and is stripped of the ball, and Georgetown will bring it the other way. Freddie Brown dribbling across half court, being guarded by Bailey. Bounce pass left side to Smith. In the corner over to Hancock. Jumper from 15 is short. No good. Rebound Bailey. Bailey down court to Carl Hobbs. He's all alone. He lays it up and in. And the Huskies are down by 2, 32-30. 8 for Carl Hobbs. Carl Hobbs with the layup. The Huskies still have some life. Here's Georgetown. Hancock bounce pass left side to Freddie Brown. Brown along the baseline. Lobs it into Ewing. Ewing throws up a shot, a whistle. It's blocked. It goes out of bounds, and Georgetown will keep control of the ball. Ewing was looking for a foul, but no call as he just tripped himself, threw the ball out of bounds. Last touch by Connecticut. Here's Floyd now from 20. It's partially blocked by Thompson. Rebound Alex Innes. And the Huskies are looking to tie this game up. 13:08 to go. Carl Hobbs controlling the basketball. He comes across half court, drives past Sleepy Floyd, pulls up his dribble, and is fouled by Floyd. This crowd is going crazy. 15,425 deep.
And hell, they got the crowd back in the game, and the man who did it was Carl Hobbs, making a couple layups, made the short jumper before. And the Huskies back in this game, 32-20, but more importantly, the crowd back in the game supporting the Huskies. Now Ed Spriggs comes in to replace Mike Hancock.
Second foul for Floyd, third on the team for Georgetown. The Husky team has 2, and Connecticut has the ball at half court. 12:58 to go. Huskies down by 2. Thompson over to Bailey. Bailey being guarded closely by Brown. Back on the right side to Thompson. Out on top to Carl Hobbs. Thompson has not scored much this game at all. Thompson winning on the right side. He drives down. He only has 4 points. All those in the first half. Bailey now over to Thompson. Right side to Carl Hobbs. They're looking down low for McKay. Can't get him. Over to Alex Innes. Back to Hobbs. Hobbs lobs it down low to Mike McKay. McKay dribbles it off. Eric Smith's foot. No call, and Georgetown will come back the other way. This is Eric Sleepy Floyd leading the drive. Pass left side to Smith. He's open from 10, and it's short. Slammed in on the rebound by number 33, Pat Ewing. 14 points for Ewing, and Georgetown back on top by 4. Full court press. This time it's a zone press, and Bailey dribbles, and ball stolen by Ewing, but kicked out of bounds by Ewing with a little pressure by Bailey. Not a very good play by Bailey at all.
Well, Bailey committed himself in the air, and by the time he decided where to throw the ball, Ewing had cut in front of Thompson, and the Huskies were toasted. However, Ewing lost the ball off his foot and out of bounds.
So Thompson went by the ball on the near sideline. Gene Smith replacing Eric Sleepy Floyd. Smith is good defensively. He's going to be all over Hobbs, and here he is now. Carl controlling the ball. 12:09 to go. 34-30. Georgetown on top by 4. Hobbs going towards the left side. Spins in the middle. Now gets it over to Bailey. Bailey drives lane. Hands over to Thompson. He lays it up and in. Oh, nice teamwork by the Connecticut team. 6 points for Corey Thompson. 11:54 to go. Connecticut down by 2. Gene Smith. The Huskies drop back into a zone defense, a 2-3 zone, except now Bailey was playing man for man. Now he goes to the zone. And Huskies do not, I believe, have to come out of the zone now. They're not down by more than 4. I believe the referee is going to have to say to Georgetown that they're going to have to start things up. Gene Smith winning the half court. Huskies still playing the 2-3. They're not matching up this time. Now they're telling the defense to go out to play some defense. So Huskies now again matching man for man. Here's Freddie Brown driving, untouched, lays it up, no good. Rebound, Mike McKay. McKay out to Hobbs. Hobbs is fouled by Brown. 3 fouls for Freddie Brown. The crowd's starting to get a little bit incensed. 11:16 to go. Third foul make that on Freddie Brown. We missed one somewhere in the transition, so Brown's in foul trouble. Quickly, Eric Floyd in, Freddie Brown out. And the Huskies win boundaries. That's only the 4th team foul for Georgetown. And there's no pressure at all by Georgetown. Huskies have a chance to tie this game up. Following the game, UConn women's basketball action tonight. UConn hockey, a triple header here on the Sound Alternative. This is Carl Hobbs, right side to Bailey. Down low assist, knocked away by Ewing and controlled by Georgetown. That pass was forced in by Connecticut. And Georgetown has the ball as they're slowing it up. Eric Sleepy Floyd gets it out to Gene Smith. Huskies matching up man to man. As Thompson coming out to guard Gene Smith. Ewing back to Gene Smith. That's definitely a mismatch. Is Gene Smith a lot quicker, Thompson a lot taller. Smith with it right around midcourt. Thompson playing about 10 feet off him. Smith now driving to the right. Gets it over to Eric Floyd. Floyd now driving on Carl Hobbs, slowing things up. Goes back out and gets it to Gene Smith. Now Thompson walking up, starting to play some defense on Smith. Goes to the right side. Gets it over to Ed Spriggs. Spriggs back to Gene Smith. Gene Smith and Spriggs playing catch with it. Right around the 28-foot mark. Now Thompson moving up just a little bit, starting to play some defense. And Ed Spriggs, who's supposedly being guarded by Mike McKay, but McKay staying right around the bucket. Not going out to guard Spriggs. Here's Spriggs with now dribbling around the 28-foot mark, looking to get it to Gene Smith, but good denial defense by Cornelius Thompson. Spriggs is holding the ball, and Thompson still denying it. One defense by Corny. The crowd loves it. Almost a steal by Bailey. The crowd is starting to get on the defense. They're playing well. 34-32, Georgetown by 2. They still have the ball. 9:58 to go. And we have a timeout on the court. So, with 9 minutes and 58 seconds to go, it's Georgetown 34, Connecticut 32. We'll be back right after this.
His mind was content on passing it to Gene Smith, but Smith was not open, and no one else came over to help out.
Right you are. Eric Smith will be inbounding it. Mike McKay guarding him. Smith bounces it into Gene Smith. Two Smiths on the court. We're going to have some problems with that. Now Eric controlling the ball. Eric Smith guarded by Mike McKay with it at half court. Huskies playing man-to-man. Now pass over to Gene Smith. Gene guarded by number 14, Carl Hobbs, dribbling towards his right now. Passes it back over to Eric Smith. Eric to Gene. Gene now dribbling, going towards the baseline. Jumps, gets it over to Ewing. Ewing drives, lays it up. A running one-hander goes in. 36-32 for Ewing. He has 16 points, doubling the mark he had versus Connecticut back in January. Carl Hobbs with it on the right side, being guarded closely by Gene Smith. Cross-court pass over to Norman Bailey at the 28-foot mark. Back to Hobbs around the three-point mark, and he starts driving down low. Pass is stolen this time by Eric Smith. The 1-on-0 to the basket. He lays it up and in. And a 38-32 lead as Georgetown just scores the last 4 points off the Connecticut timeout. Carl Hobbs crosses half court, guarded by Gene Smith and fouled by Gene Smith. As Smith went for the ball. Bruce Kaczynski checking into the game. Chuck Alexinis taking a little bit of a breather. Second foul for Gene Smith, 5th on the team. Connecticut only has one team foul here in the second half, which could hurt them if Georgetown continues to take the lead and the Huskies have to foul late in the game.
But how, for the second UConn-Georgetown game in a row, we haven't seen Vern Giscombe, and just as I said, he comes off the bench ready to get in the game.
Carl Hobbs now dribbling around, gets it out to Norman Bailey. They're going to need Giscombe. He played very well his last couple of games, especially versus Providence. Here's Kaczynski, top of the key, passes down low to McKay, and McKay's fouled. Foul is going to go against, I believe, Eric Sleepy Floyd for hitting Mike McKay's arm. Giscombe enters, Norman Bailey exits. They're going to need Giscombe to hopefully provide some offense, but it's very tough to come off the bench after not playing for a half of a game and try to make that 3/4 of a game and try to install some offense. For Floyd, that's his third personal foul. Huskies inbound the ball. Giscombe has it into the corner to Mike McKay. McKay looking down low, back out to Giscombe. Over to Carl Hobbs to the top of the 3-point mark. Hobbs dribbling around. Georgetown falls into a 2-3. Bounce pass right side of McKay. Back out to Hobbs. Over to Giscombe. Top of the key. Left side to Kaczynski. Left side of the circle. Kaczynski looking to drive. Instead gives it over to Hobbs. Back to McKay. Quick pass around the perimeter. This is Giscombe looking to shoot. Has the ball stolen. Knocked away. It's controlled by G. Smith who kicks it. No call. G. Smith picks it up. Gets it over to Floyd. Floyd into Ewing. Ewing pass in the corner to, I believe, number 32, Eric Smith, who lays it up and in. And Georgetown now with an 8-point lead with 8:15 to go in this game. Huskies having their problems. Carl Hobbs across half court. Dribbling the ball in the corner to Vern Giscombe. Back out to Hobbs. Hobbs back right side to Giscombe. Giscombe looking down low for Kaczynski. Kaczynski not open. Left side to Hobbs. Top of the key to Thompson. Now ball goes out and around. Back to Kaczynski over to Giscombe. Remember, Thompson has only scored 6 points here in this game. 2 for 2 from the free throw line, so he has not done much from the floor, and that's not the Huskies. One reason the Huskies are down by 8. Hobbs with it. Left side of the circle in the corner to McKay. The defense of Georgetown is just swarming all over the Husky offense. This is Kaczynski right side over to Giscombe. Top of the key. The fans are starting to get a little bit impatient They want the Huskies to go towards the basket. Here's Hobbs now starting to drive. Gets it over to Kaczynski. Kaczynski looking to do something with it. In the corner, McKay, long-range jumper. Off the rim. Tapped up by Thompson. He puts it in. Cordy with a beautiful tap-up. Huskies down by 6, 7:20 to go.
And they needed that basket, Harold. They played patient offense and moved the ball around. McKay had the open shot, couldn't hit it. Thompson, big offensive rebound. 6-point lead, 7:15 to go.
Eric Smith taking over the point guard job, gets it over to Gene Smith. Gene guarded by Vernon Giscombe, and now he's driving down the lane. A whistle and a foul, I believe, in the call against Vernon.
Well, Huskies have plenty to give. They have only 2 team fouls now. Georgetown is at the limit. The next foul on them, and the Huskies will start shooting some free throws. That's something they should think about, but still they're keeping the ball outside, not trying to penetrate. Pat Ewing picked up 2 early fouls and has not picked up one since.
Georgetown inbounds the ball. It comes into Gene Smith. Man-to-man defense employed by the Huskies. Georgetown's forcing it. Now Gene Smith gets an offensive foul. Vernon Giscombe takes it. As Giscombe just held position for a little while, Gene Smith ran into him. The 3rd foul for Gene Smith, and the Huskies have the ball on the turnover. This is a big play. If the Huskies can score here, they will be down by only 4 points. Kyle Hobbs inbounds it. Gets it over to Vernon Giscombe. Giscombe back to Kyle Hobbs, who walks it across half court. Hobbs now dribbling, slowing things up. Bounce pass to Giscombe. Giscombe right side over to Kaczynski. Kaczynski looking down low. Back out to Giscombe, who hands it over to Hobbs. Right side of McKay, who can't control the pass. It goes out of bounds. And the Huskies needed that ball, but a big turnover there, and Georgetown will come back with it. Eric Smith slowly but surely dribbling the ball across half court. Mike McKay picking him up right around 3/4 court. Comes across, dribbling with his left hand towards the left side. Eric Smith stops, gets it over to Eric Sleepy Floyd. Now they're going to play a stack offense, and they're just going to slow this game down quite a bit with one man popping out of the stack each time and just playing almost like a 4 corners, but 2 men stacked on opposite ends of the lane. This is Eric Smith now, guarded by Mike McKay. They're going to probably slow this ball up for a minute or 2. Eric Smith now, again guarded by McKay on the left side. Eric Floyd pops out, so does Ewing. Ewing gives it right back to Eric Smith. And that's exactly the way the Georgetown offense is supposed to work. Georgetown 40, Connecticut 34. Eric Sleepy Floyd now to the left side. Back out top to Eric Smith. Huskies have lost 2 consecutive games here in Hartford. They lose today to be their 3rd consecutive game going into the Big East tournament in the Civic Center. Eric Smith around midcourt. The crowd not liking this at all, but it's very good for the Georgetown team. 5:46 to go. A whistle and a foul going against Corny Thompson. Only the 3rd team foul for Connecticut, the 2nd on Cornelius. So Georgetown will inbound the ball. This is where the Huskies have to get tough. They have to deny the ball and hopefully get the steal now. 5:46 to go. Georgetown in control. Ewing gets the ball in, gets it back over to Eric Smith. And quickly they go back into their 2-men stack on opposite sides. Eric Smith, left side, throws it out to a popping Gene Smith. Gene now going left side, guarded by Vernon Giscombe, brings it back out to Eric Smith. So that's what Georgetown is content to do. It's the last regular season game for both teams. As we said earlier, Georgetown 22-6, ranked in the top 20. Connecticut 17-8. And on a 1-game losing streak, losing their last 4 out of 5. Ewing now with it. Ewing being guarded all over by Bruce Kaczynski, and there's a foul on Kaczynski, the team's 4th. Kaczynski picks up his 2nd, 5:12 to go. And again, the Huskies are going to have to get tough. And there's a timeout on the court, though. So with 5 minutes and 12 seconds remaining in the game with the score Georgetown 40 and Connecticut 34, we'll be back with the conclusion of this game right after this. Overplaying at Providence. Georgetown takes the ball in. This is Eric Sleepy Floyd with it, guarded by Kyle Hobbs. Floyd looking over the basket now, slows things up. He trips and falls, passes over to Ewing before he does so. And Ewing gives it back out to Eric Smith, and again, they're playing that stall type of game. Pass goes to Ewing. Ewing being guarded tightly by Kaczynski. He's elbowing left and right, no call. Pass almost stolen by Thompson. Ewing comes backward. He's at the baseline. Throws it all the way out to Gene Smith. Smith gets it over to Eric Sleepy Floyd, and again, Georgetown slowing things up. This is Ewing. Back over to Floyd. Floyd dribbling the ball around, going around Kyle Hobbs. Slowing things up, less than 5 minutes to go, 4.5. This is Floyd over to Ed Spriggs. Spriggs gives it back to Floyd. Thompson looking to double team and try to steal the ball. Whistle and a foul on Thompson. I don't know how they could call that foul. The referee was behind Corny, and if they were going to call anything, the ref was in a very poor position to see it. But nonetheless, the 3rd foul on Thompson, 5th on the team. Huskies are still 2 away before the 1-1. Norman Bailey checks in. Carl Hobbs checks out. So we have Giscombe and Bailey in the backcourt. Thompson, McKay, and Kaczynski in the forecourt. And Georgetown looking to inbound the ball. Ball comes into Gene Smith very easily from Eric Smith, and ball goes back to Eric. And the Huskies now double teaming Eric Smith around the midcourt line, who finally passed away to Gene Smith. And Georgetown is really handling this defense very well. They're a very good ball handling squad. They have 4 guards in the game most of the time. This is Eric Smith right side being guarded by McKay. Smith now lobs it over to Ewing. Ewing back over to Smith. Eric Smith going one-on-one with Mike McKay now at the far sideline, dribbling the ball around. Passes over to Eric Sleepy Floyd. Floyd guarded by Bailey, and he goes toward the basket. Now he slows things up, gets it back out to Gene Smith. 3:51 to go. This is Gene Smith going around the right side. Bounce pass over to Eric Smith. 3:46 to go. Mike McKay fouls him. And McKay coming over to his 3rd personal foul, the team's 6th. And like I said, that fouling situation could hurt the Huskies. And they've taken about 4 or 5 minutes just to get into the 1-on-1 situation. 16 fouls. The Huskies are at the limit. They're probably going to foul as soon as Georgetown gets the ball in. Eric Smith looking to inbound it. Gets it into Eric Sleepy Floyd. And all over him is Norman Bailey. Bailey probably will not foul Floyd. He's one of their best foul shooters. Floyd on the right sideline. Looking to pass the ball out, gets it over to Eric Smith. Now a whistle on the play. I believe we're going to have a foul call on Kaczynski against Ewing. For Kaczynski, that's his 3rd.
That's not bad strategy. Ewing only a 60% free throw shooter, so if the Huskies wanted to put anyone from Georgetown on the line, and at this point it's apparent that they have to start fouling the Hoyas, it would be Pat Ewing.
Kaczynski checks out. Alex Innes comes in the game to play some offense, and Ewing goes to the free throw line to shoot the 1-and-1. Both teams are over the limit now. Connecticut down by 6, 40-34. We've been scoreless for about 4 or 5 minutes. This is only Georgetown's 3rd free throw in the game. Only 2 in the first half, both coming to Eric Sleepy Floyd. And he hits the first one. Pat Ewing is really giving it to the crowd. He's blowing kisses. 3:34 to go. He loves those Boo Birds. This is only his first year. 3 more years of Pat Ewing is going to drive oppositions crazy, especially their fans. And he hits the second one, 42-34. Connecticut has a chance to go on the offense. 18 points for Ewing, who's looking to come back against his poor performance the first time these two clubs met back in January. This is Vern Giscombe, 3:22 to go. Out on top to Bailey, right side to Giscombe. Huskies have to score. Over to Mike McKay. Giscombe, Bailey. Bailey with the top of the circle. Right side to Giscombe. Giscombe from 20. Takes a shot off the rim. No good. Rebound Bailey in the painted area. He drives and is fouled on the play.
Well, it'll be interesting to see if they give him 2 free throws or the 1-and-1. And they say he was in the act, so Bailey will get 2 foul shots. UConn down by 8 with 3:11 to go. It's going to be tough.
And there's a little pushing match between Alex Innes and Spriggs as Alex Innes was checking out and Kaczynski was checking in. And Spriggs gives a little wink to the sideline. I swear this Georgetown team is playing pretty cocky. They're winking, they're blowing kisses, they're laughing at Connecticut. 3:11 to go and Bailey's on the line. He hits the first. 42-35 for Norman. That's his 6th point. He hasn't had a game that's up to his par. He's been averaging 12 in the last 12 games. Bailey hits his second. 42-36. The Huskies should be playing full court man-to-man, and they are doing so. This is Eric Smith inbounding it to Eric Sleepy Floyd. Floyd goes around Mike McKay, but McKay's going to get called for the foul. For McKay, that's his 4th. 3:08 to go. McKay hasn't had that great of a game either. 7 points. Matter of fact, not one Husky has broken double figures. It's a very low-scoring contest, 42-36. Looks like a first half score. Floyd on the line shooting the 1-and-1. He's averaging 70%. And he hits the first. 43-36. And he hits the second one. 44-36. 14 points for Eric Sleepy Floyd. 3:05 to go. Connecticut has control of the ball. This is Thompson trying to break the half court or full court pressure. Bounce pass into Mike McKay. McKay crosses the timeline, gets it over to Vernon Giscombe. Giscombe right side, pass to McKay, top of the key, drives, shoots, no good. Rebound down low comes to Spriggs. Spriggs hands it over to Floyd, who gives it over to Gene Smith. And with 2:44 to go, I think that Freddie Brown is checked into the game. I thought it was Gene Smith, but Brown has 4 fouls. He's in the game now. Giscombe quickly picks up his second foul. And Brown will go to the line to shoot the 1-and-1. 2:40 to go. Georgetown on top by 8. Brown looking to go to the line. Kaczynski checks out. Alex Innes checks in. Georgetown Hoyas ranked 11th in the UPI, 12th at the Associated Press in the country. And Brown hits the first one.
This Georgetown team, not really that good a free throw shooting team, only shooting 64%, but they haven't missed one yet today.
And he hits the second one, 46-36, a 10-point lead with 2:40 to go. And the Huskies are probably going to need a miracle to win this basketball game. Corey Thompson over to Bailey, crosses half court. Bailey driving on the right side, goes towards the middle, has the ball knocked away, controlled by Georgetown. Ed Spriggs hands it over to Eric Smith, 2:26 to go. It looks like it's just going to be a free throw shooting match for the rest of the game. Who is going to foul who? And who is going to come to the line to make 2 free throws? Bailey almost comes up with a steal, but he knocks it out of bounds. Huskies are down by 10. Georgetown 8 for 8 from the free throw line. The Huskies have done pretty well themselves. I think they only missed 1 free throw. That was in the first half by Mike McKay. They're 10 of 11. Thank you, Jeff Dobeck, our statistician. Right on the ball as usual. Eric Sleepy Floyd gets it over to Freddie Brown. Brown fouled from the backside by Norman Bailey. And the Huskies just fouling, slowing this game up. The crowd should start to disassemble pretty soon, as this game is pretty much in the hands of Georgetown, and now some of them are taking to the exits. 2:10 to go here in this game, and it's become what is known as a blowout of sorts. Second half, Georgetown 6 for 6 from the free throw line. Connecticut 2 of 3, but a more amazing statistic, the Huskies have only scored 12 points in the second half. Shot is missed by Brown. Rebound pulled down by Thompson and handed over to Hobbs, and Hobbs will start to run things up court. This is Bailey at the baseline, jumping from 15, and he hits! Bailey hits 46-38. Georgetown quickly inbounds the ball.
Oh, Don Perno wanted a timeout after that basket, but didn't get it.
Ball goes to Eric Smith. Smith crosses half court. Huskies playing full court, rag-bag defense, trying to create some havoc and some steals or some turnovers, but Hobbs is called for a foul, his third. And going to the line will be Eric Smith, 46-38. Huskies had a 24-22 halftime lead. At one point, they led 21-12. And if we figure these out, that'd be 17 points for the Huskies since then.
And 36 for Georgetown.
34, I'm told by Jeff Dobeck. First shot is good.
UConn does not want to go into their own tournament, even at their own place, losing 5 out of the last 6, but they're headed that way right now as Georgetown has a 10-point lead with 1:49 to go. It's not going to be easy.
Second one also falls through. 10-point lead, 144. 48-38. Connecticut's ball. Bailey bounce pass down low to Alex Innes to short one-hander. No good. Rebound tapped up, controlled by Floyd. Floyd, a 1-on-2 break. He sees the basket, goes up, and is fouled by Bailey. That would be a 2-shot foul. Bailey's third personal.
Well, Bailey made sure he didn't make the basket anyway, but Sleepy Floyd will have a couple of free throws. So Georgetown puts the pressure on Villanova now to win. If Villanova loses, Georgetown gets the number 1 spot in the Big East. If Villanova wins, they take over number 1, but those two teams will be 1 and 2.
Villanova playing at Providence, and Georgetown figures that Providence owes them one. They were upset by Providence earlier in the year in Providence, and they're hoping Villanova can do the same. Or lose the same. That shot is put in by Eric Sleepy Floyd. He puts in the second one, 50-38, 12-point Hoya lead. And for Eric Sleepy Floyd, 16 points on 6 for 6 shooting from the free throw line. Mike McKay at the baseline, looking to drive, now pulling things up, gets over to Carl Hobbs. Hobbs dribbles around, cross-court pass to Norm Bailey. Bailey at the foul line, drives, dishes to Thompson. Thompson for 15, and he hits. And a timeout call by Connecticut. 1:15 to go. Corey Thompson only picking up his 8th point. Make that his 10th point. And there's a timeout on the court. So it's Georgetown 50, Connecticut 40. We'll wrap up this contest right after this 30-second timeout. Huskies are down by 10. Doesn't look good. For Georgetown, it's Spriggs and Ewing, their two tallest players, along with Floyd, Freddie Brown, and Eric Smith. Huskies have Giscombe and Hobbs at the guards, Mike McKay, Corny Thompson, and Norman Bailey in for the defense. Ball comes out. Eric Floyd has it guarded by Giscombe. Crosses timeline, right side to Spriggs. Spriggs double teamed and fouled on the play. Both Alex Innes and Kaczynski are on the bench. This is the least number of points Connecticut has scored in a game so far. The least during the season has been 47 versus Providence in overtime, but right now they only have 40 with 1:05 to go. This is going to be their lowest total of the season.
And Georgetown probably has held another team below the 40% shooting mark. That'll be 17 times this year they've done that.
Huskies not shooting very well at all in the second half. Going to the line is Spriggs. He's a 68% free throw shooter. He has yet to score so far tonight. He's going to go for the 1-and-1, I believe. And he misses. No, it falls in. Bounced off the back of the rim, popped up, and fell through. 51-40. All the bounces going the Georgetown way. Little sweet revenge for the Hoyas, who lost their only home game to the Connecticut Huskies back on January 20th. And the second one goes through, 52-40. Huskies down by 12 with 1:02 to go. Now the ball's thrown out of bounds by Connecticut. Norman Bailey with the turnover. And Georgetown going to take this game and bring it home, winning 9 out of their last 10 in the regular season. Into the Big East tournament, they have to be the odds-on favorite to win. And oh my God, Vern Giscombe is going to get called for 2 fouls, intentional, or one foul, 2 foul shots on the intentional foul. Well, the clock says 1:99. I'm just totally confused.
Well, I don't think you're as confused as the Huskies are. They led by 9 points in the first half, and it was just totally turned around. Those couple of steals by Sleepy Floyd and key rebounds by Ewing, and Huskies have really not been heard from since then.
I just want to know what 1:99 means. Did the Huskies get a little more time to play this game?
Maybe it means 99-1. That's what their chances are.
It's less than a minute to go, I believe, officially. You're in tune to WHUS Stores, Connecticut. And now there's no time. No, they're just joking. Now it's 152-140 on the scoreboard. We're getting a lot of...
Well, at least they've scored more points than they did against Providence in the overtime game.
That's the quickest the Huskies put 100 points on the board that I've ever seen. The only time this year.
Must be Denver and San Antonio the way things are going.
Now the clock says 0-0, but the score is right. Now it's right, 59 seconds. The crowd is now just really heading for the gates. 15,425 on the end. And
well, if St. John's wins tonight over Syracuse, UConn will play St. John's next Thursday in the opening round of the Big East tournament.
Following this game at 3:25, it'll be UConn Husky women's basketball. First shot connected by Freddie Brown. Tom Bull and myself will try to bring you that action. Georgetown on a 2-game losing streak. Huskies winning one of their last 2, I believe. And the second one is good. Georgetown 54, Connecticut 40. With 55 seconds to go, Thompson from 15, and he misses. Rebound Ewing. Ewing being punched almost by Vern Giscombe. Battered around. 4th foul for Giscombe, but Ewing will go to the free throw line for the 1-and-1. Now they're calling it his 5th foul. So Giscombe, playing about 5 or 6 minutes, is fouled out. Scored no points, but that's all he was really in there for, is to foul some people. And Jimmy Sullivan coming into the game, the senior, along with the other 3 seniors, coming out with their family. The pregame getting a nice ovation from the crowd for their 4 years of service here to the University of Connecticut. It's their last regular season home game. Of course, the Big East tournament played right here in their backyard, Hartford Civic Center. I don't know if that's a plus or a minus for UConn. They've lost their last 3 games here. Ewing hits 55-40. Huskies only scoring 16 points in the second half compared to Georgetown's 33. Ewing takes a few dribbles, looks up, shoots, and scores 56-40. It's a blowout now. 48 seconds to go. 20 points for Patrick Ewing, who might be the Big East Player of the Week for the 4th consecutive week. Long bomber by Hobbs. It's a brick. Rebound by Thompson. 38 seconds. Thompson fakes up. It's blocked by Spriggs, and he's fouled by Spriggs.
And Harold, you know, with this loss this afternoon, UConn is 3-3 on the year at the Civic Center. And in the games they played over the years, in 25 games, the record is 13-12. So how much of a home court advantage can you really assess to the Huskies coming into the Big East tournament when I'm sure there'll be other fans from other schools that will also be represented?
And they've also lost their last 3 games here in the Hartford Civic Center.
If it was played in New Haven, I'd say they have an advantage. They've only lost about 2 games.
And New Haven's farther away from Hartford than farther away from stores than Hartford is.
It's tough to explain, but as far as the Huskies are concerned, they just want to get into this tournament and hope they have as much backing as possible and get back to playing good basketball.
Thompson hits 56-41.
You knew they were in trouble in the first half when only Floyd and Ewing had scored, and Floyd wasn't even having a very good game at that, and yet Georgetown was only down 2 at halftime. Finally, they got everybody else into the scoring parade, and the Huskies really have stopped scoring.
Thompson hits again, 56-42. They're trapping him in the corner, but Georgetown easily breaking it. Floyd over to Ewing, crosses half court, a 3-on-1 break. Now they slow things up, a whistle, and a foul on Sullivan for hitting Pat Ewing away from the play. Jimmy's first foul, 29 seconds to go. Following the game, we'll have a wrap-up, and then we'll go back to Dave Boussier, who will play some rock and roll music from 3 o'clock or whenever until 3:25 on WHUS stores, when we'll have the UConn Husky women's basketball action. Is the doubleheader, or the second part of the tripleheader, continues. Doubleheader of UConn Georgetown, and then tonight UConn hockey action versus the Stags of Fairfield in Bridgeport's Wonderland of Ice. Ewing hits the first, 57-42. And he hits the second, 58-42. 29 seconds to go. Connecticut with the ball. Hobbs, left side to McKay, long range. It's off the rim. Rebound tapped up, controlled by Bailey. He's in the painted area, throws up a shot, no good. Rebound blocked and tapped out by Ewing. Over to Gene Smith with 13 seconds to go. Now they're passing the ball around, a foul by Hobbs, which is his third, with 10 seconds to go. We'll make that his 4th. And I can never see why a team fouls this much at the end of the game when they're down by this much with this less of time left. Let's just let the clock run out. I would take the loss.
By less points than they would if they weren't fouling, because since they've started fouling, the lead has gone from 6 to 16.
And surely it will be 18 if Gene Smith can connect on these two. It's the first.
Well, this is the second game in a row where we've seen a team come in at the Civic Center, we should say second game in a row. Teams come in and shot very well from the free throw line, and they've salted the game away with their free throw shooting.
60-42, 18-point lead, 10 seconds to go. Hobbs quickly across the timeline on the right side, pulls up from the foul line, shoots over Ewing. He misses, rebound. Georgetown with 2 seconds, won, and that is the contest. It is a final score here at the Hartford Civic Center. The score, Georgetown 60 and Connecticut 42. We'll be back to wrap up this contest right after these messages.